Welcome. You're listening to Just Minding My Business 24/7, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know I'm your host, Ida Crawford, on the Amazing Women of Power, the world's leading positive programming network powered by Raven International. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by Just Minding My Business 24/7 radio. I hope you are having an amazing day. I am so excited today to bring to the mic Coach Lamb, who is a business coach and CEO of Future Mugal Entrepreneur Lab. Don't you just like the sound of that? Sounds like we're going to be definitely cooking up something. So grab your pen and a paper and take notes. So while you're doing that, let me just tell you who Coach Lamb is. Coach Lamb has her MBA and is a certified project manager. She used her skills to support companies to successfully create and launch departments within the company. Coach Lamb has taken her years of experience and training to create the successful business launcher strategy to support others to avoid the pitfalls associated with launching a business. Wow, Miss Coach Lamb, I'm getting ready to get my pen and pencil out so that I can start taking some notes.
I hope I will not make sure everybody has a lot to write down. So I am a fountain, and I will definitely be pouring out as much as I can. But I want to take the time to say thank you so much for allowing me to come on and pour into your tribe that you have with you, and I appreciate your time.
Oh, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much for saying yes. So tell us, Coach Lamb, how did this all get started?
Sometimes we get gifts, as I like to say, wrapped in sandpaper. And it's not what we want, but it's what we need. I was definitely in my 9-to-5 and working, and actually I did very well for myself. But I'd had that boss. We all have them. And we didn't kind of get along, long story short, but he was exactly what I needed. He was in what I needed to start to push me to really wake up myself and say, what is it that you want to do with your life? What is it that, are you going to continue on this path and you can look for another job and that's fine, or are you going to finally do what you're destined to do in this life? What are you going to do? And it's like we have that time in our life when we're at the fork in the road. And I was at that point, the fork in the road. What was I going to do? And I just said, I am going to do what I'm destined to do. This doesn't feel good. At the time I moved out of the East Coast. I'm now on the Southwest. I didn't have any support systems in place. It was just my mom and I. And it shook my foundation. And I was like, you know what? I am never going to allow anyone to have the perceived power to change my life without my say-so. I will never allow that to happen to me again. And so with that, I moved in the direction of trying to find out what is it that I wanted to do in business. And I went through courses, and I looked at my own strengths, and through that iteration of all of that, I found out who I was in the process, and in that I found the business that I'm doing now, and which I love to do, is being a business coach.
Oh, my goodness. I just love that story. And one of the things, Coach Lamb, is everybody has that story. We are, at some point, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Amen.
And then you start to see, you're not moving.
Right.
Really. You're always unhappy, and you really don't know why you're unhappy until you start to really dig deep into, what am I here for?
Right.
It can't be just this.
Right. Exactly. A lot of times, when we're in the workforce, we put on so much of other people's expectations or limitations on ourselves that along the road we forget who we are and what does our voice sound like and what is our light and what makes us joyful and what is it that we truly want to do, because we're serving so many others that we forget to serve ourselves. And then we wonder why, as black women especially, we're depressed, we're overeating. We have hypertension, we have diabetes. A lot of that comes from we are not being our authentic self. And we have to get back to who that is. And it happened to me. I do share. I have no issues with that I do have a debilitating disease I was born with. It was sickle cell. But it started to activate out of many years of it not doing anything. And I'm like, what is going on? And what it was, my body was actually saying, no, we can't do this. This is not working. But as normal, we always push on. But for this time, I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. That doesn't feel good. And I need to figure out what works for me so that I'm happy, I'm joyous, because I can't serve anybody if I'm not served. And I think we forget that along the way. Somewhere along the way, we forget that.
You're so right, Coach Lamb, because, I don't know about you, but I come from that era where, as a child, you're raised to, get a job, go to school and get a job. Mm-hmm. And then for women, we've just come out of the era not so long ago where it was get a husband.
Yeah, we might be going back to that, though.
So, so we've had, as women, we've had to do a lot of mind shifting over the years.
Correct.
Because it wasn't really a woman who, way back in the day, who wanted to pursue a career was far and in between.
Exactly. And now we have to.
Yes.
In our community specifically, we have to. I mean, it's really two options. You either have a job or you're welfare. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's one or the other that we have to have. Of course, most of us would want to go and have a career, which we do. Of course, we're the most highly educated segment of the U.S. population are black women. We are highly educated, but we're dying because we're not being true to who we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny you would say that because, I've seen people that go to college, you start out with this one thing that you want to do, and then you find out, that's not really me. I mean, I think we all kind of gone through that at some point where, we're searching and trying different things to find who we are. When in actuality, if we just sit still and dig deep and really pay attention to our senses, it wouldn't have took us this long to get there.
Exactly. And what I've found in working with clients and different people is we knew a long time ago. It's not like don't get me wrong, as I went through my career, and everybody does, you get skills that definitely help you. But what brings you joy, what makes you happy, what you're passionate about, it's not through a job. You knew that a long time ago, but somewhere along the line, somebody said, you can't do that. Well, how would you do that? Well, why would you think to do that? Nobody else knows how to do that. And we've heard that once upon our time, and then we kind of push it to the side, and we say that we have to do something else, or they're scared, and so they put their limitations on you. It wasn't even sometimes you putting your limitations. Somebody put their limitations on you, and you accepted it.
All right.
Right, so people get confused about, I need to find, and I hear that all the time, I need to find the skills, and I have to, no, stop. Everybody teaches everybody what they need to learn. You go to a job, they're going to teach you their systems because you don't know it. They do that every job. You're not going to know their systems. What they want to know is, can you fit in? Do you get along? That's soft stuff. They can't teach you that. Can you fit into the culture? That's really what they're hiring you for. Do you look like us? Whatever it is that they're looking for that they can't teach, that's what they're hiring for. Are you bubbly? What's your personality? They'll teach you all the other stuff. We get that confused. So when it's in business and you want to go in business for yourself, people get into all the skills. You learn that. That's what a coach is for. They'll teach you that. You can go to course for. But I can't teach you your passion, what brings you joy. That you got to figure out. That's what you have to know.
Absolutely. And sometimes it takes a coach to ask you the questions to get you to think.
Yes, and this is what I said to many people, especially when I have, like, discovery calls, strategy calls, and I always say to them is, one or two things I say to them is, once you're up-leveling your life or wherever you're up-leveling or you're learning a brand-new skill, you always have to have help. Even if you went online and found a course, that's considered help. Even if you watch YouTube, that's considered help. Even if you ask somebody, that's considered help. And so why a lot of times we think that we don't need a coach when actually it's the same concept of you going online and finding out something. It's still a form of help to get you to where you need to be because you don't know those steps. The difference between you doing it that way as opposed to a coach is we already did the heavy lifting. We already know the pitfalls. We already took the courses. We already scraped our knees and cried. So when you come to us, we're saying you don't have to do that. Step 1 is right here. Go ahead and do that. Okay, step 2 is right here. Go ahead and do that. Step 3 is right here. Go ahead and do that. Because we know this works. This is the method in which you need to get to where you at. As opposed to you saying, well, I'm not sure if that's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. Well, let me go ahead and put it down for a minute. And then you never get back to it. And then you wonder why it's 2 to 3 years later and you're still in the same spot. Coach doesn't allow you to do that.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you brought to my mind is a lot of times one of the real important things about having a coach is that you have that accountability. Because as humans, if it's just us, we find all kinds of excuses not to do it.
And I'm real sexy with mine. I mean, I'm real sexy with it. Sometimes I be like, now that was good, girl. I have to be like, now that was good, girl. I'm admit to my stuff. I'm real sexy. It sounds really good. But who am I cheating? Me. My coach don't get cheated because they got paid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you cheat yourself when you're doing your excuses. And my grandmother used to always say to me growing up, it's one thing if you want to lie to somebody else, but sure don't believe your own.
No, amen to that. Amen to that.
Hey, Grandma.
She hit it right on the nose.
Right. It's like, don't you, but I know when I'm doing it. I'm clear. I'm like, yeah, that was an excuse. Okay, I know it. But a lot of times we want to believe what we're saying when we know that's not the truth. You know, that it's okay to be afraid. And I tell people, your dreams are not big enough if it don't make you afraid.
Mm-hmm.
They're not big enough. If it's something like, I got that, that's a small dream. Wipe that off the table. It should make you afraid. And another thing I always like to tell people is God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
Ooh. Say that again, Coach Lamb. Say it again.
God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And we forget that. We forget that concept. We think we need to come in and we have to be qualified and certifications and ready. And I'm not saying that's not important, but that shouldn't prohibit you from doing what he told you that was your life destiny to do. Because he's going to qualify you along the journey.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is. And that's a fact, and I could definitely testify to that through my own journey. You know, because everything I started in life, I knew nothing about. Nothing. Everything.
Right.
We didn't know what walk it was.
Exactly. And I don't know where in adult land that we forgot that we've learned everything that we think is comfortable now was at one point in our life uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if we forget that it's still, if you're learning, and you should be, it's going to be uncomfortable. And that's okay, because the more and more you do it, it becomes comfortable, and that becomes your new comfort zone. And outside of comfort zone is your growth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So tell us, Coach Lamb, tell us about the successful business launcher strategy.
Yes. This is my signature coaching program, my baby, as I call it. And basically what it is, it takes a professional, man or woman, through the steps to launch their business. And one thing I like to say is the model that I teach to build your business and launch it is the independent location model. So that means that it's mostly online, and it allows you the flexibility, the freedom to be able to live the life that you want to live and still be able to service your business, service your clients, and do the things that you want to do whenever, wherever, however. So that's the model that I teach for them. But I take them through the process of, they have an idea, they're not sure, and we look at what that is. What is your idea? What are you good at? What is your passion? And whatever that is, that we figure that out. And I'm just going to use, for example, a fitness coach. Then we go and look and we say, okay, you're a fitness coach. Now, who do you want to service? Okay, you want to service me. That's great. Now, is there a need for what you can do? Because if it's not, you can't be in business. So we make sure that there's a need out there for you. We also then look at to see where is your ideal client? Who are they? Where are they? So you know where to go to attract them, to market to them. We then go make sure you're set up. People have sometimes a notion, if I say you're online business, that you don't have an LLC. That's not true. You need to have an LLC. You need to have an EIN. You need to pay the taxes like everybody else do. We go through all of that process. We also then go through your social media management. So create posts, teach you how to pose, teach you what to pose, set up your social platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and strategically set them up so that you're creating a clear message to the tribe that you're building. And also we create your service, your offering, your product, and build the machine behind it that supports that. And then last, but definitely not least, you launch. You're out into the marketplace.
Well, that's a definitely great package that you have, and that's everything that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you need.
Right. Exactly. And one of the reasons I decided to do this specific offering of coaching is because it ties to my mission for me, which is, if I help one woman, I change a generation. And I always said the next level of civil rights, in my opinion, is economics, it's money, it's financial. That if we learn how to create our money, our economy, we don't have to ask for a seat at the table. They will pull the chair out for us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Coach Lamb, you're definitely going to have to come back on this show because we have so much to talk about.
Yes.
And, it's just been awesome. So how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Well, I have my Facebook page. And so when this comes out, and I'm sure Ida will have it written down, so I can tell you, but if you're anything like me, I don't write fast, but I have a Facebook, and I think it's the Future Mogul Entrepreneur Lab, and that's a lot, but I'm going to give it to you so when this comes out, they could just click on it and make their lives easier. But I suggest you come to really my Facebook page, because that's where I'm most active. There's a ton of motivational, inspirational, educational videos that you can see and learn about who I am and what I do and get some tips from me. I have wonderful posts that makes you think about things. So that's the first place I really like for people to come to, actually, is my Facebook page. That's the best way to really start to interact with me, interact with my tribe. And from there, I start to tell you where else you need to go. But that should be your first point, is go there.
Okay. And also, just so everyone knows, we just launched the Just Minding My Business 24/7 Facebook page, and we're going to have Coach Lamb in on a regular to be able to, pour into us.
Yay.
So look me up, and I would love to have you in the group, and so that we can all grow and be successful.
Yes. You cannot do this entrepreneurship journey by yourself. Please get over to Ida's group.
Say that again.
You cannot do it.
It's impossible.
Exactly. It cannot be done. Don't try it. Don't waste your time. You're not the special one. Just go ahead and be around some people, okay?
Oh, yeah. The circle's mad. I'm here to tell you. They truly do. Well, we are at the top of the hour. We could go on and on and on.
I know.
Because this is such a subject that's near and dear to my heart, and I just get all filled up when we're talking about that, moving forward and mindset and all of the things that support you in being your best self.
Exactly. So definitely, we have to come back again because, girl, this was good.
Yes,
this
it was.
Good.
Yes, it was. And I hope everyone enjoyed Coach Lamb. And give us your Facebook again. I have it as Future. The first part is always www.facebook.com. Everybody knows that part. Now, after that is /Future Mughal Entrepreneur Lab.
Right. That's it right there. Come on over to the Facebook page, and I have gobs of goodies, videos, posts, freebies. Come on over.
Absolutely. And make sure you join the Just Minding My Business 24/7 group page, and we're going to have all kinds of goodies there to help you move forward with your business. So we are going to thank you, Coach Lamb. You have really made my day. I am grinning from ear to ear.
It has been my pleasure. I would do anything for you. We have been known each other for a while and bounced around. I'm more me than you, of course. But you have one thing I can say about you, that you have never changed your character. It has always been the same, and I thank you. And you were the one who poured into me before I was even ready to receive. So I thank you for that. When I didn't even thinking about doing a business, and you poured into my soul and spoke truth to me. And so for that, I want to say here, thank you so very much for that. That years later, it came about with what you spoke to me about being a coach, and I never forgot that, and I never forgot you. And if I'm going to tell everybody, if you want someone who is true, who is about their business, but one of the kindest people you will ever meet, that is willing to meet you halfway as long as you meet her, then you need to get down with Miss Ida, okay?
Well, I thank you for those kind words. I'm just being me, that's all.
Yes, you are, and I love it for you, and I thank you for opening up your tribe to me, and I so appreciate that very much. Very much.
Well, thank you so much, Coach Lamb, and I'm looking forward to another conversation with you. So you have a great day, and I know you will. This show is brought to you by the amazing women of a Sister Circle Empowerment Network, Ascend LLC, where we are never in competition but always in collaboration, and our valuable sponsor, Prodigy Accounting Services. Visit Prodigy Accounting Services at www.fli-inc.com. That's www.fli-inc.com. Are you interested in becoming a sponsor for Just Minding My Business 24/7 radio? Or would you like to know what a Sister Circle Empowerment Network, Ascend LLC, is all about? Then shoot us an email at asistercircle@gmail.com. That's ASISTAS circle@gmail.com. Please visit our website at asistercircle.org. Looking forward to hearing from you.
You've been listening to Just Minding My Business 24/7, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford, on the Amazing Women of Power, the world's leading positive programming network powered by Raiden International. Many blessings to you and yours, and thank you for listening.